facilitate the establishment of a world-class transformer production plant in Nigeria to accelerate stable power supply. The Executive Vice Chairman and Chief Executive Officer of the National Agency for Science and Engineering Infrastructure, Professor Muhammad Aruna, disclosed this to these men in Abuja after briefing the President of the agency's third quarter report from July to September 2022 with focus on its activities and finances. He further disclosed that the transformer production plant is in collaboration with China Great Wall Industry Corporation of China. Haruna said the project for the establishment of transformer manufacturing plant in the country is delayed due to COVID-19 pandemic in China. He said the plant, when established, will produce between 6.5 and 10 megawatts transformers of all sizes and different capacities to meet local demands and Nigeria standards. Nigerians have kicked against the secret hike in electricity tariff, saying that the increase will have adverse effect on the populace. Those who spoke to Osbc News in separate interviews on the secret hike in electricity tariff called on the government to intervene and stop the hike. Oluwatobiloba Odunuga now reports.
Continue to throw the quietly increase in the tariff payable by power consumers across the country, which they say it is unacceptable even with the harsh economic realities in Nigeria. Recall that most of the power distribution companies did not make this known to the public. According to reports, the tariff increase was first observed on the tariff band, a non-MD which was increased from 57.55 naira per unit in December to 68.2 naira per unit. Speaking with Osbc News on this development in separate interviews, consumers of electricity, including Prince Ayodele Oke and Mr. Folabi Kolawole, bemoaned the act of electricity distribution companies, noting that they are not being considerate even with the dastardly situation they are in with the situation of the nation's economy. They added that mostly the power supply is not constant, which has not in any way aided the growth of companies and other developmental projects. The respondents, who found that the over 3 trillion naira injected into the private power sector, describe it as outrageous, saying that the sector is making Nigeria and Nigerians dry.
When some houses will be told to pay like 25,000-30,000 naira in a month, is actually on their eyesight. I just pray that the government will be able to do something to our people, to the downtrodden masses, so that at least they can have something to really enjoy in this country. As a matter of fact, the light is not even there, and when it comes, it's quite epileptic. And with that, we should not be paying through our nose. So let the government do something.
They called on the federal government and other stakeholders to help regulate electricity tariff plans and also make sure the epileptic power supply will be something of the past so as to attract foreign investors, adding that this will make the nation a better place for us to live if necessary measures are considered. Oluwatobiloba Odunuga, Osbc News.
President Muhammadu Buhari's new fiscal policy through cashless policy is capable of reshaping the socio-economic dimension in the country, as well as go a long way at fighting corruption and crimes, especially kidnapping for ransom. A financial expert, Mr. Adebisi Balogun, dropped the hint shortly after featuring on Osbc TV Current Affairs program, Saturday Morning Treat. He speaks further.
I think the main focus of the government introducing cashless policy is to even reduce crime. When they kidnap anybody now, they say come and pay so millions. They take that money to the bush. That money is not working for the economy. That money, but with the introduction of cashless policy, even if you want to pay ransom and you are asked to transfer money, that transfer is traceable. And they can trace it and get to where the money, or they can even stop that person from withdrawing such money. So it's of huge benefit to us as a Nigeria.
Speaking on the rising debt profile of Nigeria, Mr. Balogun said borrowing will be better if it is channeled towards developmental projects such as agriculture, education, security, or welfare of the people. According to him, Nigerians should ask questions about the spending of money borrowed by their representatives in government. He speaks further.
Deficit budgeting can assist the government in the area of doing all developmental efforts. For example, construction of road, rail system, and other things. Those are what they can use the money on. But the issue is that money, they are going to source it from somewhere. And when they source it from somewhere, it means they are going to pay a kind of interest or whatever that money. It will make that money to be increasing. But if the money is well utilized, if it's judicially spent, that money can create money to repay such debt.
The Central Bank of Nigeria has ordered deposit money banks not to pay customers making the over-the-counter withdrawals of the new Naira notes again. The Apex Bank, however, directed the banks to load their automated teller machines with only new notes to ensure that the currency circulates across the nation ahead of January 31, 2023 deadline, when the old notes will no longer be legal tender. It was gathered that the Apex banks used the directive to the banks and orders that the implementation must begin immediately, and commercial banks have a mandate to evacuate the 1 billion naira old notes each to the CBN on a daily basis. The memo, which was titled Urgent Update on Currency Redesign and signed by Group Head, Retail Operations, stated that the CBN has mandated that banks immediately put a stop to the over-the-counter payment of the new 200 naira, 500 naira, and 1,000 naira notes currency. Instead, all new notes should be loaded into the ATMs for customers' withdrawal. Endorsement of a candidate, either by a group or an individual, is an exercise or right which does not determine the victory of such candidate in election. A political scientist, Mr. Lika Oguyemi, stated this shortly after playing guest on Osbc TV current affairs program, Saturday Morning Treat. According to him, the Nigerian bigwigs will do better if they can concentrate on playing the role of national leaders instead of throwing their weight behind a particular political camp. He speaks.
Obasanjo is being regarded as an elder statesman that should try as much as possible to work together, to harmonize, to synchronize all the political or the divergent views of the political aspirant and bring them to the table and tell Nigerians these are the things they want to do. You can organize just like Abubakar is doing. He has a peace movement in Nigeria. Before the election, they have to sign. Then you have Gowon praying for Nigeria. I think Obasanjo, rather than coming up with one candidate or the other today, he should find a way. He has the wherewithal. He can call all of them, come to Abeokuta. I want to say that all the presidents will be present there. Bring all the academia, bring all the captains of industries in Nigeria. Let them educate these aspirants how to go about it, how to solve the problems of Nigeria. As for the security, bring all the service chiefs and what have you, let them discuss.
And now to sports. The semi-final matches of the football event of the ongoing Osun Sports Festival. Sorry, the story is here. Ahmad Jan Yaya from Taraba State and Police Inspector Atuma Chidima from Abia State have emerged winners in both male and female categories in the 15 October Marathon. They each went home with a sum of 250,000 naira, while second and third position in both male and female categories got 150,000 naira and 100,000 naira respectively. In the male category, homeboy Clayton Toby came second, with Maria Ahmed trailing behind, while another homegirl Victory Toby finished second in the females race, with Princess Aniete coming third. A Republican lawyer, Kevin McCarthy, has been named Speaker of the United States House of Representatives as he finally quelled a fierce rebellion among his party ranks that paralyzed the lower chamber of Congress for days. It was reported that McCarthy was always the front-runner to lead the Republican-led House, but his victory in the small hours of the morning was almost derailed by a right-wing revolt in his party that extended the contest to a historic 15 round of voting. But the 57-year-old Californian was able to pick up more than a dozen votes among the defectors in 2 voting rounds after offering major concessions. Media rights groups have called for South Sudanese authorities to release 6 journalists detained after footage was leaked reportedly showing President Salva Kiir urinating on himself. According to the Committee to Protect Journalists Writing Media Reports and Other Sources familiar with the case, the staff with the state-run South Sudan Broadcasting Corporation were arrested by agents from National Security Service. They are under investigation over a video that went viral on social media in December, which appeared to show Kiir urinating on himself at an official function. The Union of Journalists of South Sudan also called for a speedy conclusion of the investigation to the 6th, who, it said, was suspected having a knowledge of the release of certain footage to the public. That ends the midday news on Osbc TV. It was edited by Abdul Jalil Adebisi. Please join us at 5 for the evening news.